Welcome, everybody, to the Genesis Mindset. And in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about 4 cryptocurrency opportunities that I see in Pulsechain. Now, whether they're good or whether they're bad, I'm actually just investigating them. Not a bit of a deep dive, bit of an investigation as to why I think these are potentials. Some I think are better than others. I'm not going to tell you which ones I have because I don't want you to go to pump my bags or anything like that. This is literally just talking about opportunities that I'm seeing, that I'm considering to buy, and some that I may or may not have already bought. And also, the reason why I want to address this is to address the actual mindset around this, the mindset about buying things when they're down and selling things when they're up. Quite often, we buy things, we chase those green candles, just like Sommi says. This is really a flaw in our mindset. And why do we do this? Is because we actually get hyped up with that emotion. We think it's going to keep going, but more often than not, it's usually always a top. The way that you feel is a signal about how the actual market feels as well, because everybody else is feeling like that as well. So the smart ones have already placed their bets. They're already in and they're looking to actually sell. So really readjusting, reaffirming that mindset of buying low and selling high. So with that, let's get into these 4 opportunities. So the 4 opportunities that I'll be covering: pTGC, GIFF, GME, and Trump. So for a variety of different reasons. So first of all, pTGC, in my opinion, well, I've probably got these in order of value. So, well, my perspective of value. So again, this is not financial advice. I'm not telling you to buy. God, it sucks having to do that every single time. Up yours, SEC, up yours, CIA. So, yes, pTGC. pTGC has been a beast. It's been the backbone of memes on Pulsechain for a very long time. So it's one of the OG memes. So it was launched. I don't know if this is the oldest pool. I'll actually have a look if this is the oldest pool. But it was launched quite a long time ago, and it has been a massively performing asset on Pulsechain. So yeah, 7 months ago. Okay. So basically it was launched in October, middle of October. As you can see, it's done some serious numbers. So it's done some serious freaking numbers. So, you know, thousands of X's basically. So when we talk about how awesome Pulsechain is, the evidence is here, man. And this is the thing. This is one that I'm not seeing being spoken about lately. So this is why I actually want to bring it up, because it's actually not being spoken about a lot. But having said that, you still regularly see Moon King talk about it, Ian Heinrich talk about it. You really see the Crypto Kings talking about it. It still has a very active community, and it still has really strong fundamentals and tokenomics that are behind it. The buy and burns, the liquidity bonding. It's basically modeled off the Atropa ecosystem. Whether it actually is or isn't exactly like the Atropa ecosystem, that's up for debate. But it actually is having some incredible price performance, and this is the main thing. So the token supply is being burned at an extreme rate. So this is what actually increases its value. So this is something where I'm looking at that going, this is looking like a good opportunity. Not to mention, on Corey Costa's show just today, or depends where you are, yesterday, today, there's going to be some new updates for pTGC. I'll also be doing a stream with Coach X, and I'm sure we're going to be covering this. So that's going to happen on, I believe it's going to be Wednesday. So that'll be Wednesday, Eastern time, so American time. So check that out. And obviously at the moment, we've got a nice dip. We've got a 70% dip. This is when I want to start to look to buy. It's dropped below this key level here, or again, what Moon King would refer to as magnets. Now, people are not going to like seeing this, but also, if it gets down to these points, this is also another excellent price point to actually start accumulating this other magnet that it could go to. It was a local all-time high, I believe. Oh no, I think this is where I cheated my pTGC. It was either there or here. I think I cheated it here. So, oh boy, what a cheat. What a massive cheat. So yeah, that's when I was like really precious. Now I think it was back here. It was like really filthy. Oh yeah, it was down here when I was really precious about my Pulsechain and not wanting to lose my Pulsechain. So in any case, I cheated pTGC. I still do have some pTGC thanks to Vibra Finance. Shout out to you, Adam. He actually gave me some. He donated me some because I cheated my bag, and I also gave him some Bitmobic. So yes, thank you. Thank you for that, Adam. So I got some and actually sold some at the top. And what I'll be doing is my goal is to accumulate. So with what I sold at around about the top here, I'm going to be accumulating now with that Pulsechain, buying these dips. And if it gets down here again, I'll buy some more fresh Pulsechain. Okay, so on to the next one, GIF. So GIF is an interesting one. As I mentioned in a previous video, GIF I was hearing about when it was around about here. So I think towards the end of April. But I had a lot of things on my mind, so I couldn't focus on it. And again, there were certain things where it's like, oh, I've heard all this before, and it's going to have a dip somewhere. And people are like, no, it's not going to have a dip. And I'm like, it is going to have a dip. It has to have a dip because people are going to sell. And if you saw your mate Trayvon James, he basically put in like what, $20 and made 10,000 or $10 or whatever it was, and 20K. So these guys are taking profit. That's what's happening right now. So it doesn't matter how good the tokenomics are, there's always going to be profit taking. Doesn't matter how good the chart is, there's always going to be profit taking. It's just a fact of life. It's a fact of the markets. So what's actually happened here? This was my original buy point, and I said, you know what? This is more than likely going to be a local top. So I said this to Crypto Elliot simply because, one, the ridiculous run that it had just had, and two, because again, Trayvon, his method, and it sounds a bit crazy, but with crypto, this is almost how it is. He's like, buy first, research later. I'm the other way around. I research first, then I buy after. And it's like, it's too slow in crypto. Things move too fast. So I'm actually thinking of adjusting my mindset in that, like really very quickly get a brief feel and a brief vibe. What do I actually feel about this thing? Okay, we've got an active community. The Telegram chat is this big. The Twitter account is this big. Okay, it's got decent tokenomics. I'm seeing a lot of people start to talk about it. Okay, all right, I'll buy it and I'll look deeper into it later. That's the kind of approach that I'm starting to think now. Whether I buy just a tiny amount, just like Trayvon, $20. I mean, really, $20 back then, that where I actually heard about it first, I think it's done like a 40x. So, really, I should have bought then. But also because I kept hearing about it from Crypto Elliot, kept hearing about it, oh, it keeps going up, kept hearing about it. There's going to come a point where it's going to dip eventually. And then usually I represent the point of the market, not all the time, but a few of the times I really know I've pretty much got the top here. So PLS pup was, it was kind of a local top. I kind of sensed that because I really hesitated and waited for a dip. And that's what I did with this. I waited for a dip. And then I thought, oh, you know what? I'm not going to wait anymore. I'm just going to get some skin in the game, and then I'm going to actually start to learn about it. I started learning about it first, put some skin in the game, then went deeper into it. Whereas now, instead of waiting for that dip, I've really got to rethink that idea. I didn't put a lot in, so it doesn't really matter. But in any case, what I normally do with these is I dollar cost average down. So this is like the first price level, and this is the next price level where it's basically 90% down. So I'll probably look at potentially buying something here, and then again looking down here. And I'm still looking into GIF. There's a lot of things going on there that I'm trying to understand. We got the iBurn, we got PGIF, GIF. There's a lot of things going on there. So this is an interesting thing, and I do think it has a bright future. It's got some solid lads behind it. Okay, so on to the next one, GME. So this one, very simply, GameStop. Okay, this one I'm going to be dead honest about. So, well, oh, wow, it's just had another dip. So here we go. So now it's plus 80%. So the whole thing with GME was, let's actually bring the community together. So Moon King created a competition where he said, if GME on Pulsechain flips all the other chains, so it has, I think it was a higher market cap than all the other chains, then I'll give one person 100 million Pulse. That's pretty damn good. And it makes you wonder how much Pulse the Moon King must have. The Moon King must be bought. He's got billions of Pulsechain. So I was like, God damn, what a goat. So the Moon King has put that competition out, and that's what I liked about it. I like this idea of, hey, let's work together as a chain to advertise this chain out into the world with this GameStop phenomena that's actually happening. Having said that, always, this show is not a shield channel. I just present to you things and talk to you about the way that I'm thinking about it. I'm going to get love. I get love for the things. I get love when I talk about things that people have. They love me for that because it's like, oh, you're pumping my bags, but I'm not. I'm just talking about the things that I find interesting. One of the things that I loved about the Atropa ecosystem was it was this whole system that I'd never seen before, and just deep diving into that really blew my mind wide open. So I was really totally fascinated with covering it. With this, there's going to be people who aren't going to like me for this, but I'm going to be dead honest, like I have been all the way along. I'm looking at the GameStop price now, and it kind of looks like that pump from Roaring Kitty, where it doubled in price. Now it's back down to $22.21. It's really getting very close to. It's getting very close to where it was before Roaring Kitty started tweeting, which kind of tells me, not gonna lie. I mean, if we look close up, not gonna lie, it looks like that whole narrative has kind of died. And it doesn't have the strength that it did before. Why doesn't it have the strength that it did before? Because it was already defeated, man. It was already defeated. They did everything that they could, and they lost. And the same thing happened here. They did what they could. Andrew Tate came out and, yeah, down with the Matrix, even though he's living in the Matrix and he just doesn't realize that everybody's living in the Matrix. Hashtag literally everybody's living in the Matrix. Your mind is the Matrix. Anyway, sorry. We're all living in the Matrix. Boy, I'm full of energy today. So now what happened here? Well, Robinhood put stops on it so that you couldn't actually buy anymore. So they got shorted. Everybody got wrecked. People commit suicide. So up yours to those people who actually did that, because you have blood on your hands. Because, yeah, I mean, it's a tough thing, because the system needs to change, but destroying those hedge funds as well. What if there's mum and dads? What if my mum and dad were in that hedge fund? Would I want their life savings to go right down the drain because of this degeneracy? And this is just what happens to be the thing which sinks a particular hedge fund? Not really. Of course not. So everybody's going to get hurt in some way or another. So I didn't like that aspect of it, but I liked the fact that people are saying, you know what, we're going to stand up for it. But what actually happens with all of this? The energy ends up dissipating. Do you know why it dissipates? Because it's not the truth. Only the truth is eternal. What is truth will continue and will proliferate and will continue to grow sustainably and forever to eternity. What is false, what comes from false energy, ends up dying. So even though those people, there's an element of truth to what they're saying, it doesn't have true energy behind it. So it ends up dying because it's not the time. It's not the time for the economic system to change and turn around on its head just because GameStop was going like this and it brings down some hedge funds. In the same way, because they were defeated before, it's looking like the energy behind it is even more fizzled out. It's like, if you look at it from a macro perspective, it's like, oh, and it's like that final jizz out. It's finished. So unfortunately, I'd love for our GameStop to do phenomenal, but I'm looking at the GameStop in the rest of the world, and it's like, oh, the narrative kind of looks a little bit dead now. So Robinhood was putting halts on it again. They did the same thing. It's not the time of truth. Things don't move according to our mind. Things move according to the mind of the world. So we just have to accept and go with the flow and do our best to stay within nature's flow so we can take advantage of those moves. And that's what this channel is really all about. That's the Genesis mindset. So moving on from that. So my apologies if anyone is in GME and they feel that is fuddy. My apologies. I'm just being honest. I do hope that it goes up. I do want it to go up, but I'm just telling you how I feel. Okay. Trump. This one is ultra specky. This is now we're going into the sewers. We're going into the gutters. This is where I like to live, in the gutters of degeneracy. So Trump on Pulsechain. The reason why I like this is, one, I really like the dude who runs the Twitter handle. So whether or not he's the actual founder of the token, I'm not sure. He engages with my content and I really like him. But I've started to talk to him more and I've started to join the community to see what they're about, just to see what they actually know and how they're actually getting this coin up off the floor. The reason why I like it is because it kind of looks dead, but it's not. This is the beauty now. Look at this little trend line that we've got coming up off the floor. So by the way, all these charts are against Pulsechain. So now this is against Pulsechain. Look at this little upward trend here. Now, as I investigated, I went into their Telegram. I joined their Telegram, and there's all these little buys. There's all these little buys that continue to happen. So whether this is some kind of a bot, some kind of buy bot, I'm assuming it's some kind of buy bot. So it's continuous. I've asked if there's any community up in here. There are people engaged here. So there's 284 members. So it's pretty small. But again, I like the dude who runs the Trump Twitter account. I reckon he's ladsy as. And also, this is the kind of narrative where we could. This is how I'm kind of perceiving this. I'm asking them, do they know about liquidity bonding? Are they bonding it to things? They have started bonding it to things. So what if it ends up doing this and we get to, where are we, June? I don't really know when the US elections are. What are they, in November, October? Obviously, I'm not from the US, so I'm not 100% sure. But if it actually, let's delete that line. If it continues to do what it's doing here, oops, it's going to go like this, tiny little fluctuations. Maybe Trump has a little event, because this is what crypto does. It's just filthy degenerates. So this is, anyway, you get the gist. So eventually it's going to keep going, maybe slightly upwards, up, down, whatever. And then once we get to October, November, bang, it could end up doing this. Right. Now, if it ends up doing this, what have we got? Just say from this buy point, this is why it's wildly speculative. This is where I'm like taking a handle out of, taking a page out of Trayvon's book. Look at this. So from these price levels, that's a 7x. That's a 9x rather. So 800%. So that's a 9x. So it's pretty much 800%. So if this ends up doing a massive run just because of Trump winning the election, for example, this is what cryptocurrency does. It just does this wild, crazy shit that no one actually even knows anything about, just because. Just because. I thought it was a brilliant comment from Sommi where he said basically the blockchain is implanting or stamping culture into the blockchain. So this is exactly what we're doing. We're stamping culture into the blockchain. And Trump, everybody in crypto is pro-Trump. I couldn't care less who actually wins. It's all the same. Which puppet master do you want? It doesn't really matter. The trajectory of the world kind of goes in the general trend that it's going to go anyway. So for me, even in Australia, Liberal, Labor, it doesn't really matter. It does make a slight difference, but this guy gets in, lasts for 4 years, and the next government comes in and opposes everything that they did and sends it all away, and then they do their own thing. And it does make a difference, but on the long-term scale, it really doesn't. It doesn't make too much of a difference. At the end of the day, corporate interests rule the world. Governments are just puppets for corporate interests. So this is, to me, like a blindly obvious fact. It's not even up for debate. So this is actually how capitalism is working at the moment. This is how democracy works. It's basically who's got the most money and who can get things done their way. It's corrupt to the core. Science is fudged for the benefit of corporations. Everything is just fudged for the benefit of corporations, for the benefit of this party or this agenda or that agenda. So this is actually how world politics works. So it's actually really garbage as well. So I used to have a big interest in politics until I really understood that fact. And I was like, you know what? The only way you can actually change this is if we have a whole new financial system. That's the only way. Otherwise, we're really just seesawing up and down, just doing the same things. Things slowly get better, especially in Australia, but also at the same time, there's a lot of crap that goes on here as well. Like, Commonwealth Bank, for your protection, we're going to stop you from transferring your cryptocurrency onto an exchange for your protection because of scams with extra Z's. And every time I send money, I'm like, fuck you, it's my money in the receipt. So anyway, this is why it's super speculative, but the liquidity on this is so low. It's 924 liquidity. The other day yesterday it had 895 liquidity. So it's a tiny amount of liquidity. So the risk here is you're just basically going to buy something for $20 and somebody else is going to come along and sell out, people who are dying to get out, or it could actually continue to go. What makes it interesting when I was doing some investigating on this is it has the largest holder is a liquidity pool that there's like extremely random liquidity pools, by the way. And the second largest is the burn address, the dead address. So a lot of the supply is being burnt, but we do have these holders up here with 6.57% of the supply, 4.3%, 4.19%. They have a lot of supply, 2.4%, 1.82%. But having said that, it's pretty easy to make your way into the top of this page. So if you really have a look at it, with 1 million pulse, you could get into the top of this page and own like 0.5% of the supply. So it would be a wildly speculative play based on a narrative that's going to play out in the future. And this is something where it's like, okay, there's some potential there. There's a community that's alive. There's some burning. There's some liquidity things going on. They know about liquidity bonding. So that, and obviously he's been attracted to my content through a troper, so they must be aware of all of these things. So That's what's got me very interested in that particular one. But again, take it with a grain of salt, and just, yeah, not financial advice whatsoever. So the last thing that I want to talk about, well, first of all, just a very, again, on these, it really depends on what you consider to be good buys for these. Sommi is always talking about buying the depression. Man, Sommi, highest value content in all of crypto, free. He says it. That's like his new little tagline. And I have to say, I find it very difficult to disagree. Between them and the crypto kings are always like talking about the macro trends long before anybody else. Sommi also is doing that. Yes, there's lots of other free crypto content, but we've got some quality crypto content. Buying in the depression, like even the ratio trades, and like, I mean, I was always buying in depression anyway, but always never really kind of like looking at narratives. So the way that the Moon King thinks and the way that the crypto kings think about narratives has really got me thinking about Trump and how this could be a good future play. And, if you think about Warren Buffett, when he says it's far better to buy a wonderful company at a fair price than a fair company at a wonderful price. So if I look at this, if I put that in the context of cryptocurrency, it's far better to buy an awesome crypto community at a fair price than a fair crypto community at a good price. So there's lots of things now that have really had some good runs, are in the millions and millions of market caps, and they'll continue to run. They will continue to run, and they're going to blow the whole market wide open. And I'm talking about the whole market within Pulsechain, and especially outside of Pulsechain. When they see our memes compared to when you go to base chain and see their memes and Solana's memes, which are all just like pump and dumps, when they see our memes, when they see the Tangang, when they see a Tropa, when they see pTGC, when they see Rob, when they see all these things and all these different communities and cultures on our blockchain, wow, things are going to get real. And so finally, the last thing I want to quickly talk about, World Meditation Day. So tomorrow, 21st of May is World Meditation Day. So Blake is a meditation guide. I love Blake. I have regular chats with Blake, and this is going to be, so this is my time, 11 p.m. So it's going to be Tuesday, May 21st, 9 a.m. to 9:45 a.m. Eastern time. And all you need to do is book now. And basically, it's a program that includes lighthearted, fun activities and a unifying meditation that will bring inner peace and self-awareness. This World Meditation Day 2024, let's take some time to pause, reflect, and discover a new way of being that contributes to a more peaceful world. So I'm going to leave the link in the description there. It works on your phone. For some reason, it was being a bit dodgy on my computer, but on my phone, no issues whatsoever. And Blake's YouTube, if you're into mindset, this guy has some awesome content. His shorts that he always puts out, when you have those moments where you're like thinking about something and then the universe shows you the answer, or you're having a problem and the universe provides a solution. Blake is like my guy, my bro. He's my bro for that. Like, his content all the time, every day is like, bro, you are just synced up with my mind. Even with Trump, I've been thinking about Trump, and actually, I better not say that. So yeah, when your mind is synced up to the world will give you what you need. So Blake's content is freaking awesome. So I'm going to leave a link there as well. And I really encourage you to check it out. It's 45 minutes. Check out, this is the meditation method that I do. There's lots of different kinds of meditation methods. This method is really all about clearing your mind, becoming one with the universe so you can live eternally as the universe. So the living eternally, it's like kind of a bit, everyone sort of gets put off by hearing that, but you yourself will know this false existence doesn't exist. This false existence, this body is not separate from the rest of the universe. But if you think it is inside of your mind, you'll die inside of there. That's the matrix. But if you disappear, this concept of the self disappears in the same way that Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad, all disappeared. All the prophets disappeared. You become one with the universe. You become one with the mother and the father of the universe. And that's what it means to live eternally. So that's the profoundness of this meditation. But even then, even if you're not interested in that, clearing your mind for clear decision makings, it's radically improved the way that my whole life trajectory has been. My whole investing, like I've said many times, I only was ever able to have like 1,000 in my bank account, never had any assets, never had anything, just blew my money, never could work properly. Now I have like lots of cryptocurrency assets, not lots, not millions, but I've got a decent amount. If I I'm happy with it. I want it to continue to grow so I can make an impact on the world, but it's all come down to the mindset. And the mindset for me all came down to meditation. So with that, thank you very much. Take care.